Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. Right now the time is 7:12 p.m. I know, when it was 7:11 p.m. I was like... but it's 7:12 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. Right now the moon is void of course, and by 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, Wednesday, July 8th, 2020, it will be transiting, or rather waning, in Pisces. So it is going from waning in Aquarius to waning in Pisces. It's in that void of course period. And the sun is transiting in Cancer. So this is the next video in my ongoing series, Pride Tarot More Than a Walkthrough. And I'm actually wearing a different shirt that I had planned because we've come to Trump 6, the Lover's card. And, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So first of all, let me have my awesome audio-visual person do a close-up of the box. It's a beautiful box that depicts the Sun card from this tarot deck, which I'd like to get to before the end of the month. But that's another story. And of course, I'm going to have him do a close-up of the card. And now that I have my beautiful magnifying glass within arm's reach, or within hand's reach, I'm going to read some of the posters that are depicted on the card. So, the one that intrigues me the most, it reads Queer Liberation March, Sunday, June 30th. Now it just so happens that the last Sunday in June of 2019 was Sunday, June 30th. So I have a feeling that this was an image that was inspired by something that the artist Robin Scott saw on Sunday, June 30th, 2019. It would be easy for me to say this is Manhattan, as in New York City. I see one building that could easily look like a building in Manhattan, and of course the Statue of Liberty is in the background. So I could be wrong. It might not be Manhattan, but I'm pretty sure it is Manhattan. There is a poster that reads Disability Rights are Civil Rights. And I think there's a poster that reads We March For, and I want to say that the bottommost word is liberation, but I'm not entirely sure. And then of course the banner that they're carrying reads An Army of Lovers Cannot Lose, which I think is so beautiful. Queer education fighting for a green world. And then I'm HIV positive, queer, and proud. And there is another poster. It's a stop sign, and underneath it is a certain word. I don't like to say that individual's name unless it's medically necessary. Like if I'm asked, you know, what is your name? I say my name is Robert Alvarez. If they ask me where I am, I tell them where I am. And if they ask me who's the President of the United States of America, I'm like, is it really medically necessary for me to say that name? And if they say yes, then I say that name. Now you have an idea what's under the stop word in the stop sign poster. But I digress. So, there's another one that reads Trans Power. And this one I love. It reads Gender F asterisk CK. You can fill in the blank. The system spelled C-I-S-T-E-M, as in cisgender. And I was like, that is a very interesting poster. Because system, it's spelled C-I-S-T-E. I'm spelling it correctly. Okay, so, did you do a close-up of the card? Okay, so I'm going to read what the guidebook says about the Lover's card. And then I will read the bio of the artist. So, The Lovers by Robin Scott. My Lover's card incorporates scenes from the New York City Queer Liberation March. I'm telling you, obviously it was Manhattan, so that was confirmed. Okay, let me try this again. Trump 6, The Lovers by Robin Scott. And it's in the artist's own words. My Lover's card incorporates scenes from the New York City or NYC Queer Liberation March on Sunday, June 30th, 2019. Photographed for the Reclaim Pride Coalition. The phrase, An Army of Lovers Cannot Lose, was used in the headline of a leaflet distributed at the June 1990 NYC Pride March. The phrase dates back much further, occurring in Plato's Symposium. Quote, "If there were only some way of contriving that a state or an army should be made up of lovers and their lovers, they would be the very best governors of their own city, abstaining from all dishonor, and emulating one another in honor. And when fighting at each other's side, although a mere handful, they would overcome the world." It also appears in Rita Mae Brown's 1974 poem, Sappho's Reply. "Tremble to the cadence of my legacy. An army of lovers shall not fail." And I love that Robin Scott's signature includes a heart, and inside of the heart is the lemniscate, which is more commonly known as the figure 8 symbol. So here's what I love about the Lover's card. So when I first began learning about the archangels and angels, I learned, and it was from my personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, in fact, who taught me that the archangel depicted on the Lover's card is Archangel Raphael, who is the divine healer of the archangels. And I'm going to ask my awesome audiovisual person to stop making noises on his chair, because I find that distracting. And I don't want to be distracted because I do want to keep these videos under 10 minutes each. So Drake, can I count on you to stop making noise with your chair? Is that a yes? Are you sure that's a yes? Thank you very much, Drake. YouTube land, I apologize. Like I was saying, when I discovered that Archangel Raphael was traditionally depicted on the Lover's card, I thought to myself, you know what? That makes so much sense, because more people have more bullshit about romantic relationships than anything else. By the way, if any of you out there in YouTube land disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I'd love to be disagreed with for a change. Actually, that happened the other day. I forgot about that. Oh, and as for what I'm drinking, I'm drinking tea. I'm drinking a black tea, a la Promised Land. It contains milk and honey, and I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person show you what the tea that I'm drinking is. And yes, it is a Twinings tea. It's Twinings English Afternoon. I usually have English breakfast, but I was like, you know what? I don't remember the last time that I had English afternoon. But yeah, so English afternoon tea. Of course, given that it's currently around 7:20 p.m., if Twinings had an English midnight tea, then y'all in the UK across the pond would be drinking it right now. But I digress. So here's my thing about the Lover's card. The Lover's card is also about making two choices, or making a choice when it seems as though one is... I'm not saying that correctly. Okay, so in some tarot decks, the Lover's card depicts a man flanked by two women. Now, allegorically and biblically speaking, the man is Adam, and one of the women, the nicer looking one, is Eve, his second wife. And the not so nice looking one is Lilith, you know, the she-demon in Judaism, which she's no she-demon, by the way. She was just a woman who stood for her own rights and decided to tell people what she wanted and what she didn't want. I know that makes her pure evil, doesn't it? Nonsense. Nonsense. Or as they say across the pond, poppycock. Poppycock. I know a different kind of poppycock, but that's another video for another channel for another day. Anyway, so one time several years ago, I was giving a client a reading, somebody who is a very valued friend and a really good person. He's been more than a client for eons. And I distinctly remember in one of his readings, I said, what about making your own choice? Like, instead of choosing left or right, how about going directly forward? And that insight is a very rare insight in my videos and in my readings when I use the Sacred Tarot. But you know, I do believe that The Lover's card is not necessarily about I must choose A or B. How about choosing C? Or how about choosing both A and B? Something to think about, I know. YouTube, as always, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. I am so happy that so many of you are enjoying this series of videos. I want to tell you, I am enjoying this series of videos so much. It is a lot of fun. It's exciting for me, and I really dig it. I really dig it. And of course, you know, it's not every day that I make videos under 10 or 11 minutes, so there you go. Anyway, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and schedule. Good night, and stay tuned for the next video.